Okay, I guess continuing on from
Starting with
starting with
Starting with
the height
I
of
refer you to
professionalism.
the height of professionalism.
Iron Man. What were we going on about Iron Man?
Well, I think we should.
Just
Yeah,
random.
I think you should. To start every episode like you're starting an episode. Introduce yourselves.
IR Max.
IR will.
IR and IR DJ. Iron Man. We were saying.
Yeah, Iron Man. I was really annoyed that they sort of missed the fact that it's like Tony Stark, king of technology, and
He has no technology.
infinite amounts of money. He has no technology. He like has beyond military grade equipment, like super future tech in his basement, and he doesn't have any like scanners or anything at all. And the
What do you mean he doesn't have scanners?
like he's a superhero. He's in the Avengers. He is a Marvel Universe superhero.
He's not even subtle about it.
Yeah, he's not even subtle. He's like an
Yeah.
open guy, so that leaves him
You mean
completely
like printer scanners? To
No, like
scan photocopies?
radar.
like radar
Oh.
or like heat sensor, anything like that. Like turrets, for example. They fired missiles at an open window, and yeah, it just.
Well, he wasn't wearing the armor at the time.
He wasn't wearing the armor at the time,
Yeah.
but I feel like
Oh, you mean for his house?
yeah, for his house. So I feel that's fine.
I should probably mute that.
Height of professionalism.
Woohoo!
I feel like there
This is
should
becoming a
be
thing.
it's like he has
Could be a
all this
tagline.
like this super tech in his house, this really expensive stuff. Terrorist groups are going to try and take it, even if it's not like terrorists, like organizations within the US itself. In theory, would try and take it because Marvel are trying
They
to.
took it. They took it.
This
They
is
took.
They did actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they took
this is the
a.
thing. And if they're going to do an Iron Man 4, which technically Robert Downey Jr. isn't signed on to do, but I don't see why.
Dude, come on. The Avengers are Iron Man movies featuring
Yeah.
other Marvel.
With other
they
guys.
literally are.
So,
So this is assuming he's going to sign on for the other contract, because he originally signed on for 3 Iron Man movies and 1 collaboration movie. That's what his original contract was. So I'm going to assume he's going to sign that on. But I just feel like you wouldn't have. I imagine if you had all this like next gen military tech and
Well, for the start, I wouldn't say I had it.
wow.
So
okay, so
I'd
everyone,
sell it to some random guy in China.
everyone knows
live
you have
rich on an
next
island.
gen military tech. Would you have, if you had the money to make defenses like scanners? Just have like a printer.
I think maybe he had. I think.
Giant
He's got
printers.
a photocopier.
I
Abort.
think no, but look, to Tony Stark defense, he probably has like a really good security for his front gate and stuff like that. But nobody really expects an
Missiles.
missile
That
air
is a
attack.
good point.
You know, you
How
don't
do you
really expect that. At your
Use
house.
helicopters with
no any
rockets.
helicopter, just whoever you are, you don't really expect you're gonna get an air raid at your house.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that was not that long after the Avengers.
No,
So-
it's only like a slow.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe eventually he would have started thinking about those kind of things.
Yeah.
But before that, he hadn't had an Avengers level.
So I feel like
situation.
this is going to be like a major wake up call for the film.
That being said, though, I did see. I think it was a Cracked article, and they had something about Iron Man, and they were talking about how he essentially developed a sentient computer, and that he keeps to himself. You know, it's
Yeah.
just like Jarvis could save the world.
Do you know
And
what
he was
that
saying
stands for?
he doesn't even need to be in the Iron Man suit. Jarvis can do everything
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
You know, Java stands for. I think it's just a rather. Jarvis. I think it's just a rather very intelligent like voice or something. It's like Jarvis.
That didn't work at the end.
I
there.
don't
No.
I
It
heard
sort
it-
of fell apart on the
No, I
last
heard
one.
it ages ago. It does stand for. I think. It's like,
I'm gonna seem really intelligent, knowing what it means.
Yeah.
Is it just a Jarvis?
That's gonna bug you for the rest of the
Just
Yeah.
a rather.
It's gonna bug all our like listeners too.
Yeah.
Like, what is it, Max? What is it?
They know.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, they know. They're
In the
shouting.
comments, yeah. Write it down in the comments.
Yes.
It was
You know
all
what it is.
Max.
Just blame me.
You suck, Max.
Anyway,
Great impersonation.
Avengers.
Yeah.
Justice League.
Justice League versus Avengers.
There is no versus. There is just Justice League.
Batman. It's just
Batman.
Batman versus Avengers. Batman
Yeah,
wins.
that's all you need.
I have a feeling like the well, Avengers League.
Batman versus Superman.
No, not versus Superman, but you know how
Superman
you
versus
said,
Batman.
you know how you said the Avengers was like a Tony Stark movie with others. I feel like the Justice League is going to be a Batman movie with,
With
others.
others.
No, it's going to be a Batman
No,
movie with
because-
others and Aquaman.
and Superman.
Because
Yeah,
Aquaman is
Superman,
so
Superman
cares.
and Batman are my
Yeah.
two favourite
Yeah.
superheroes. Well, Batman first, Superman.
Mine is Thor because
Shame.
Because
Shame.
Sweden.
Sweden.
Because it's terrible.
But
Love Thor.
I haven't seen the second one, but I will see it.
Saw it the other
we
day.
saw it the other day. Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's what people are saying.
Saw
Word
it
on the
twice.
street is really. Well, I mean, I don't know. I just feel that Justice League, they're not as well known in the mainstream as Marvel characters, but they're so much more fanciful. Like, I mean, the movie for the Justice League is going to be, or would need to be, unlike anything ever seen.
Monumental would probably be the best
As far,
word to describe
I mean,
it.
I feel the way they're approaching it is wrong. I'm a bit disappointed. I feel they're reacting to Marvel.
Yeah.
If I was
Well, connecting everything.
not necessarily connecting everything.
But doing one in the first place.
if I
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I mean, firstly, you don't need to do one, but if they were gonna do one, the way I would do it, I know it would sound like would be controversial, but if you think about it, if you're Warner Brothers and you're trying to bring the mainstream to understand your characters, okay, let's take Justice League. If we were going to do a trilogy, I would literally have maybe I would have people like the Flash, Wonder Woman, Manhunter, Aquaman. I'd have them be the stars, and I'd say maybe what happens is because it's a continuation from Man of Steel, maybe something happens to Superman. Okay, and they are trying to. Maybe Darkseid or something is kidnapped Superman. I don't know, whatever. But you take Superman out of the picture, and you have these superheroes trying to get him back, and then Batman is not a main cast, but is somehow, I don't know, involved in that. He comes in later. He's mysterious. Maybe they're trying to figure out who this Batman is. Maybe they don't know who he is at this point. But my point is, you tease the audience because everybody knows Superman. Everybody knows Batman. And if you promise that these two are going to be in the sequel, they'll sit through your first one and they'll learn who these other guys are. And then you can have your sequel be, they've saved Superman and Batman's fully in there, and you've got your billions upon billions of dollars, but you still got your billions for the first one. Starting with Batman and Superman, that's kind of like, that makes everyone else a secondary character.
Yeah.
It's like what they did with the X-Men and had Wolverine. It was like Wolverine and the other guys.
Yeah.
That was X-Men.
Yeah, that's what they're doing with the Avengers, Tony Stark and the other guys, and now that's what they're doing with Justice League.
Batman, Superman, and other guys.
And the other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just.
I think we're gonna get one of those in every episode.
Yeah, that's the thing. High professionalism. You get just a random voiceover man.
Yeah.
Let's name him Clyde.
As you can
That's
tell,
Jim.
as you
It's
can
like
tell,
right
people,
there.
this is
Oh,
the
right.
studio is still in construction, and we're still working on that. So
I just want a bromance between Superman and Batman. Well, I know the next film is going to be Superman versus Batman, but I just want it to be like a bromance film.
well, they said that that's literally what they want to play with. They want to. I mean, Zack Snyder was saying that they're very conscious of playing with the idea of whether it's going to be Batman and Superman fight and then become friends, or they're friends and then they fight. So it could very well, because I think everyone has assumed it's going to be they fight and then a third bad guy will come
Yeah.
in. I think everyone assumed that. So that,
But it's the order that they're going to play that in. It's
yeah.
Really, really
So
interesting.
it could quite possibly be that their fight is the finale, which would be even more epic. Because I don't think anybody's expecting that. I think everybody expected or is expecting that they'll start off fighting and then they'll,
Yeah,
they'll
And then
have
it'll
to
just
fight.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't actually grow up. I didn't really grow up reading Marvel or DC Comics. I grew up watching Avengers animated, which was on like CITV for like not very long. It didn't run very long. I think it was like 1 or 2 seasons. But I absolutely love that, and I feel I'm actually more pumped for the I keep on forgetting the name, the Justice League. Stop doing that. I feel like I'm more pumped for the Justice League movie
Shame
than
on
I
thee.
was for the Avengers one, because I think the story that always comes to mind is like they all get. I think it's like some massive thing happens on Earth. They're in like Green Lantern's like shield, and it's like history gets completely rewritten. Like some guy creates a time machine.
You
goes
talking
back.
about the Final Crisis stuff?
I think it's called that. Where
What is
this
it?
guy goes to
Infinite Crisis.
Infinite. What is this? This is
guy goes to World War II and gives the Germans like all this future tech stuff.
Wait, is this a comic book you're talking about or a cartoon?
It's cartoon show,
Okay.
but it's still with the Justice League.
Okay.
And it just that one always comes to mind, and I absolutely love that one because it dealt with so many different issues. I mean, this was like incredibly deep for say like a kids show because they had like Green Lantern's ring ran out of power.
Yeah.
So he literally just became a World War II soldier, and he was like he gets he like in all these scenes he like tries to use his ring to do something, and it just doesn't do anything.
That sounds pretty cool. I haven't seen that,
No.
but I will say that when during the Avengers hype, DC was under a lot of pressure. Like the media just couldn't stop asking them about Justice League, and I think they got worn down because before that, the last thing I'd heard before the announcement of Batman versus Superman, literally I think weeks, maybe 3 weeks before that, what's his name? One of the executives there said, and I felt rightfully, he said DC characters don't really need to team up because unlike the Marvel superheroes, DC characters individually stand for ideals. So you have Superman stands for these ideals, Batman stands for these ideals, and that's what they do. And then 3 weeks later, it was like, okay, we're gonna have a Justice League. I think they just got tired of people.
I've always thought that the Justice League film doesn't really lend itself as well to the current like trend of DC. Because if you look at all the Marvel films, they're all interconnected.
Yeah.
They're very good at linking up all the stuff in them, like the little references. And, like I can't. Well, obviously, Avengers is basically the point at which they all just converge on, and now they're going out from that, and then they're going back into Age of Ultron or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just winding down time.
We need to work out our exits.
Yeah, working out exits is going to be...
Goodbye!
Goodbye, that's it.
Yell goodbye.
We're out of time.
We're done.
Yeah.
Hieght your professionalism.
Exactly. Till next time, listeners.